Tonight, Braves, Dodgers, Game 5. Also, Bucks and the Heat, Clippers, and the Warriors. Speaking of the Dodgers, the starters had just 2 hits last night. And leave it to Eddie Rosario. Hit 2 home runs. 6 Atlanta pitchers combined to limit the Dodgers to a total of 4 hits. Braves beat the Dodgers 9-2, up 3-1 in the National League Championship Series. Now, normally what happens when you have a dramatic win, like the Dodgers had previously, where they come back down 5-2, Cody Bellinger with the 3-run homer, Mookie Betts, the game-winning RBI, and everybody thinks, okay, now's when momentum happens. And there's a baseball adage, a baseball saying, momentum is the next day's pitcher. Momentum is only as good as the next day's pitcher. Jim Leyland used this back in the mid-'80s a lot. I'm not sure who gets credit for it. It might be Earl Weaver, former Oriole manager. But we keep thinking, oh, you got that momentum. Well, when you run into a good pitching staff or good pitcher, that's your momentum stopper right there. You know, the lineups change, everything, the time you're playing, who you're facing, righty, lefty. You keep thinking that, oh my gosh, we're blowing somebody out. Now we're going to start hitting again. And that wasn't the case again last night. 2 hits for the Dodgers starters. And now your season is on the line. Game 5, Braves at the Dodgers. The Astros rolled the Red Sox 9-1, and they're now up 3-2. I don't want Braves fans to take this personally, even though you have, because I keep hearing, reading, seeing where you're saying, why are you rooting for the Dodgers and the Astros? I don't have a rooting interest other than what is the story that I can tell nationally on this show. That's it. Dodgers, Astros, I can tell that story. People are interested in that story. The Braves are a good story. They picked up some players at the trade deadline who have been great. But it's not a national story. The Red Sox, they're not a national story. Good story, but not a national story. I just don't want you to take it personally. It's not like I like the Astros, but I like the Astros in the World Series because it's a great story to tell. Given what has happened, if they face the Dodgers, it's a great story to tell. And I stopped rooting. And I've said this before on the show, but for those who are new, I'll reiterate. Once I started doing this at ESPN, when I started doing this full time, I put my allegiance to the side. I grew up a Reds fan, Cleveland Browns fan, later a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I don't root for those teams. Now, do I root for a good storyline? Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow? Absolutely. Joey Votto with the Reds? Yeah, it's a good story. But I don't root for them the way I once did when I was just a fan. Give me the best story, even if it means something bad happens to the Bengals or the Cincinnati Reds. So if it's the Dodgers and the Astros, I think it's good for baseball, but don't take it personally if you're a Red Sox fan. By the way, for you Red Sox fans who keep booing Correa, Altuve, and Bregman, you do know your manager was part of the cheating scandal. I just want to let you know.
Details.
Yeah, I know. They're like booing Altuve and Bregman, Correa. And then, that's right. Our manager was on the Astros in 2017. So just letting you know. It's kind of silly. You're going to boo those guys. Meanwhile, your manager, hey, he's our manager.